Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Furman BMW in Palm Harbor, Florida, and we have the all-new 2020 BMW M340i. But before we get into this BMW, let's talk a little bit about the 3 Series. The 3 Series has always been that go-to for people who wanted that driving engagement. Over the years, the engagement was really strong. Then it kind of faded away, but BMW is working extremely hard to get that connection between the steering wheel, your hands, and what those front wheels and tires are doing. With this M340i, this is gonna be that competitor to go up against cars like the Audi S4 and even the Genesis G70 with that twin turbo V6. One thing is for certain, having this model brings a nice balance to where if you don't wanna go the full M3 route, you can have the new generation of the 3 Series, but with some extra performance, both underneath the hood and at all 4 corners where those sticky tires are. So let's go ahead, dive into this M340i and see what makes it that luxury performance sports sedan stand out. Right off the bat, you'll see the styling. They're bringing in that new generation, taking what they've had and kind of tweaking it. Unique design on the headlight housing, especially the way the front fascia rises up and kind of locks in like a tooth into that headlight housing. Everything blacked out. Of course, you're gonna get LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. I do like the interior of the housing. I'm not 100% sold though on this very quirky, interesting design. Now, as we drop down on the M340i, you're gonna have full functional air intakes on both corners, also functional side air curtains. Now, what I do like is this brushed aluminum. What I think some people are probably not gonna fall in love with is there's a little bit too much gloss black. I feel like if they would have used a little bit more of this brushed aluminum, would have really even brought it up more upscale on the look and the finish, of course. BMW does a great job with taking their front fascias and actually extending them to create areas to where there's downforce and also increased airflow. Now, as we come across that BMW style grille, things are a little different. Very interesting how the grille curves up towards the hood. I'm not really digging it. I'm actually gonna zonk this bend that they put in the grille. This is all flat black, so it's non-functional up top. Below, you actually have active shutters that are gonna open and close depending on what the speed and cooling issues are and whatnot with this particular car while you're driving it. The brushed aluminum looks very classy. Of course, you got that iconic BMW logo, Bavarian Motor Works. We drop down, everything is gloss black, but what's nice is the gloss black does not extend out like it does on the corners, and it's the same exact design. These are all fully functioning, which is great, and the way that the lower part of the fascia extends out just a little bit to create its own lip spoiler is gonna help direct more airflow into that radiator cooling area. Now, when we get up onto the hood, I've always liked how BMW hoods kind of wrap around that grille and integrate very nicely. Usually the grille though is a little bit lower. It's kind of encroaching on the actual hood area. Nice body lines. You have these 2 strong prominent body lines that rise and then go right towards those A-pillars and fade away. And then you're gonna have a nice subtle line on each side to really give you that little peak that you need when you're behind the wheel of this M340i. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you have this 19-inch wheel, 225 on the width, 40 series sidewall, flat gray metallic, which looks stunning. You have the machined aluminum, of course, the M badges. This is not a true M car, but of course, with the M package, you're gonna have your M branded wheels. M stands for motorsport. That's why it's there. That's all that great, rich history of this iconic BMW brand. Large 4-piston calipers. I love the dark blue with the M badging. You're gonna have over 13-inch rotors to help bring you down to speed, shed the speed. But remember, this is not this is not the M3, this is the M340i, but you're gonna be getting some really great performance, not only underneath the hood, but also braking capability. Now, as we go down the side, super clean. No fake vents or anything. Love this byline. Look what they did. They put a nice crease here that just starts out of nowhere and then follows the bottom portion of the door. And then of course you have your belt line. Now on the M340i, you're gonna have these beautiful brushed aluminum mirror caps, a little bit of gloss black, and slim and trim on those LED turn signals. We do have a sunroof. I'm gonna zonk it. I think when they have a sunroof, especially on a white car, you need to just black out the roof. It really look, I think, extra nice to have that differentiation of the color. Now, gloss black around your window treatment, and obviously at the door frames here, color match mirror caps and door handles. And I love that side sill extension, the way it extends out and then kind of tapers back. And then there's that body line kind of just brings up into the passenger door, disappears. Of course, this is rear-wheel drive setup. We get to the back. On the trunk, you're gonna have an additional, just a little tad, a little sprinkling of a trunk lid spoiler just to give you a little bit extra downforce. We drop down, you're gonna get full LED taillights, turn signals, all the goodies, and I like the way they smoke the upper portion out. Gives it a nice custom look. There's your BMW logo, M340i. Very simple on the rear diffuser. And then you can see that you have your brushed aluminum trim rings with the exhaust behind it. I'm glad that they gave it a little bit extra style so it doesn't look like a vacuum cleaner, like you're gonna clean up the road here. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this M340i. All right guys, we got the hood open. Of course, you're gonna have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath that hood, very large engine cover, tasteful though. BMW badge and performance badging, looks really good. What's underneath there? Guess what? We got some turbocharged goodness. That's a 3-liter straight six, inline six, turbocharged engine, 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. You're gonna be weighing in around 3,813 pounds. Here's the shocker of the day. 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Of course, you have adaptive suspension. Quarter mile flashes by at 12.3 seconds at 114 miles an hour. Top speed is governed to 156 miles per hour. MPGs, 22 in the city, 30 on the highway. This is what's wonderful about this setup, is that for many years, if you wanted that ultimate performance, you'd have to go full M car. Here we have with this M340i, 0 to 60, 3.8 seconds. Let's go ahead, fire it up, and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 BMW M340i. I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, you're talking some good performance numbers. In the past, I would have to go all the way to the M car. How much is this particular M340i? The way that it's optioned, you're looking at an MSRP right at smack dab at $60,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, I'm liking the two-tone motif going on. You have the dark material across the top of the door panel, all soft touch. Then you have the beige. Even though beige isn't my favorite choice, it does break up the sea of dark material. The stitch work is great. Do you see that slot right above the speaker cover there? That actually has LED ambient lighting. There's like 500 different colors you could choose from to really just invigorate your night drive. Soft material on the armrest, and then you have a nice sized pocket for 2 Bavarian cream donuts and some chocolate milk, of course, German style chocolate milk to wash it all down. Now, when you get to the interior, you're gonna notice that unique design that BMW uses a lot, where you have it pushed in closer towards the A-pillar, comes out a little bit. You have the angular lines here. What I'm digging is this material. It's a brushed aluminum, but I'm glad that they didn't go gloss black. It's like this textured brushed aluminum finish, very nicely done. You have your 10.25-inch infotainment system screen, very easily to go through your navigation. You could go into your car setup, do all your different things with your vehicle status, very fast functioning, and I do like the way they integrate it very nicely into the dash. It's only sticking up and protruding just a little bit, and it has a nice angle to it. There's more of that brushed aluminum. You have heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's gonna be a zonk for me at $60,000. I want my backside ventilated. Slim and trim on the radio controls as always. There's more of that textured pattern. I think it's gonna be one of those things that you either love it or you hate it. We open up the door, You're gonna have your 2 cup holders, a USB and a 12 volt, and you have wireless charging. I always am fascinated why they put these right by your tasty beverages. When your beverages are sweating all over the place, or God forbid you spill them in your BMW, what happens if you get it in there? Get a nice little zap. But what's great is you got that beautiful door. This is that BMW iDrive controller where you can control everything. If you don't want to touch the screen, you could do it right here, very easily done. This is for that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Let me throw it into reverse. There is our backup camera. And then of course you're gonna get trajectory and that wonderful laser technology, which is super cool in the BMWs. Hit park again, and then we're gonna come back to what we have here. You have your 3 different modes: Sport, Comfort, Eco. When you put it in Sport, it automatically shuts off the auto start-stop feature. I think that's really smart. More of that texture material, really, really nice. Semi-soft on the armrest, but I love the stitching. Open this guy up. Look at this, you can fill it up with Skittles. Taste the rainbow as you have your sunroof open. You got a USB-C in there and an LED light in case you need to find those Skittles in the dark. And then seats, the design of them is actually really great. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of beige, but the seat material is very nice. Of course, you're gonna get your hammy extension. It is manual for the hamstrings, but you do have full electric assist for both the passenger and the driver. And you have that nice size sunroof, which is a welcome pleasure. Let me show you the key fob. Here's your M340i key fob. Very tasteful key fob. It's got the M colors on it, and of course your BMW logo. Very nicely done there. But why don't you come on over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this M340i. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel of this M340i, you do have 2 memory seat settings, which is really nice to have that set up. You got the nice little tasteful sill here that says M340i. You got the brushed aluminum dev pedal, brake and throttle, which is also a nice touch. And like I was saying, you have full electric assist for the seats. Steering wheel is tilting and telescoping, but it's manual. So if you're used to electric control, you're gonna have to manually do it. What I love about BMW steering wheels is the thickness. Spot on the money. Look at the 10 and 2 notches. That's right out of a race car. You got your M badge here. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel are a pretty good size. My only complaint is I wish BMW would use a nice metal material for the paddles. And then the dash, 12.3 inches of pleasure. Right in front of you, you're gonna be able to have your navigation up, your tachometer, your speedometer, and then of course you could toggle through a ton of different features in that center display. TFT, beautiful. There is no head-up display in this particular one, but why don't we go ahead, let's get to the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna be squished or if they're gonna love you in this 340i. All right, guys, back seat time. Getting into the M340i, actually nice wide opening. As you can see, 6 feet tall, just like up front. I got plenty of headroom back here, plenty of leg room. You do get the plastic on the backs of the seats, but I think if you have kids and they're eating their PB&Js and getting sticky fingerprints, this is gonna be easy to clean. I wish they would just not even give us any type of cargo net, just leave that off. You do have 2 rear AC vents, your AC controls, a 12 volt and 2 USB-Cs, so they do have you covered back here. Seat material is nice and comfy. Let's see how the armrest goes. So we pull down the armrest, actually nice and soft there, and then you got your 2 cup holders, plus the 2 in the door panels as well, so you can have all your favorite beverages. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out that trunk and see how much space you have in the M340i. All right, guys, time to check out what kind of stuff we could fit in the trunk of your M340i. We hit the button, no electric assist, you just use your hand. As you can see, pretty decent size opening, which is really nice. Now, if you like hard numbers, you have 17 cubic feet of space within the back of your M340i. What's really nice is look, you have these nice areas here where you could have your emergency German chocolate Twinkies in case somebody gets hangry. Pull over immediately and tell them to get in the trunk. Not actually stay in the trunk, but get the German Twinkies out and cause that hangriness to go away. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm definitely ready and I'm not hangry. Let's take this M340i for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Furman BMW. We're in the M340i. I decided to crack open the other camera as soon as I heard the pops and bangs during that little revving we were doing for the sound clip. But right away, the steering wheel has a nice thickness to it. Seats are comfy. I really do like the seats in this BMW, but on throttle, drops down, you are off and running, man. This thing is freaking quick. 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds is very respectable for a 4-door sedan. The 8-speed, just like any other time we're in a vehicle that has a ZF 8-speed, very slick shifting, very quick shifting transmission. I like the pops I'm getting from the downshifts. I have it in sport mode right now, back on throttle. Nice. I'm telling you, this thing is deceptively very, very, very quick. Brakes feel good. You got those 4-piston calipers up front. The larger rotors on this M340i are really gonna help you shed speed ultra quick. Inside, feels good. It feels like a BMW in a good way, but I'm liking that textured material design that they have. And I'm also liking the way, I don't know if you noticed, but the way the car downshifts in sport mode, very purposeful with the pops, really great. The TFT display on the dash, super clear. At first, it's a little overwhelming because there's a lot of information, especially with the navigation and whatnot. But once you get used to it, it really, really works well. And then you could configure it 20 different ways from Sunday to exactly what you want. The paddles are in a pretty good place. I wish they came out just a little bit more, and I wish they were metal, but here we go, on throttle. On the brakes, look at this. Turn in, nice and crisp. Little backslide action. Square off that corner, and you are off. Very, very fast shifts. With it in sport mode, it allowed just a little bit of slide. Now, the one thing that I did not like is when it slid a little bit to let me square off the corner, then the traction control kicked in and just cut power. I wish the traction control worked a little bit more friendly with me while I'm trying to square off the corner. Visibility is really nice out the front. Even out the back with the larger headrest, visibility is super clear. And I'm liking the sound that's coming into the cabin. Back on throttle. Just leaving it in automatic mode. On the brakes. Brakes feel phenomenal. Let's see what the feedback feels like in the steering here. Really, really nice. Look at that. A little bit of slide. Super, super smooth. Not a lot of wind noise, which is good. And I'm liking the ride. The ride quality is very, very well sorted in the chassis of this BMW 3 Series. Now remember, the new 3 Series across the board, the car's a little bit longer, the wheelbase is a little bit longer. That's gonna give you a more compliant ride, especially when you're going down the highway. And it makes the chassis a little bit more balanced. Shorter wheelbase, it's really gonna be snappy on you if you're not ready for it. But yeah, definitely, they really have been putting a lot more effort in bringing that driving engagement, that driving experience, and I could feel it in the steering. Now, we are gonna go a little bit quicker and see how it correlates, but definitely what we've done so far, I could feel the changes. And you know, this isn't the first new 3 Series that we've done, but this is the M340i, and I'm liking the power. Like I said, I think if you don't want to go M3, or the price tag is just a little too much, because those things go for about 90 grand with certain options, I think this one has a nice balance of power and what you're getting on the interior and everything. I would go with a darker interior, but steering wheel is really wonderful, and the space in here is great. All right, guys, I have it in manual shift mode. We're gonna see how she handles, but on throttle, wow. I'm telling you, the acceleration is really, really surprising in this car, and the sounds are just phenomenal. Swing it out just a little bit, here we go. On throttle, nice. Shifts are very, very quick. Very balanced, and you know what? The suspension is doing a great job soaking up the bumps and everything. So that's another good thing, to where you know that they've done their homework because of the bumps being absorbed without messing up the whole balance of the chassis. It's like when I hit a bump, it's not like we're wobbling all over the place. She's staying hunkered down, which is really, really nice. All right, guys, one more time. On throttle, here we go. Really quick. It really is. Holds the line really nice through this right-hand bend. Good feedback. Brakes feel phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This car is very, very surprising in the performance. It really, really is. Just that traction control, really, I like to play around and see what else I could shut off, but it really kind of neuters you real quick when you kind of want to slide the back of the car out. Just to, like I said, just to square off the turn. I'm not trying to do a donut or something, but just to square off the turn a little bit. It really does come in with a sledgehammer, and I'm not really loving that. Where some other cars, yeah, you could drive with traction control on, and it works with you. It's interesting how everybody has their different setup depending on what brand you're buying and what type of model that you're buying from that brand. But I'm telling you, the shifts are nice. The sound is great. I mean, you really get up to speed super quick. You look down, you're like, whoa, I'm going that fast. Because what's happening is the outside noise, the wind noise and whatnot, it's very, very minimal in here. So hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the M340i is all about. We're gonna get back to Furman BMW and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Furman BMW. Definitely gotta thank Alan, Cody, the rest of the crew, getting us access to this M340i. It clearly shows the intentions of what BMW is trying to do. They want to spread the love when it comes to overall performance for those that don't want to go the full M car route. Is this a competitor to the Audi S4, to the Cadillac CT5V, and what Mercedes-Benz is bringing to the table? 100% for certain, and you definitely want to take one for a spin if a luxury sports sedan is in your near future. But if it's cars like these that you want to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to get out the Big Guns McGee, the tripod, holding that camera nice and steady. Thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.